Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another edition of Celebrating Sweet Success at IOBM. I'm Abrar Khan, CEO of TruFocus Consulting. Asad is the founder of Food Fusion, a brilliant platform started in 2016. Asad is an MBA of 2008. He's established not only the channel but a platform with his wife Saima, and mashallah, to date it is one of the most celebrated food-related culinary channel across the world. As Pakistanis, we follow it, and much lately, I have created my own strawberry jam, supported by Food Fusion. Food Fusion became Pakistan's #1 food channel. At the same time, it most recently crossed 1.5 billion views. Today, it stands at 4.65 million subscribers and over 3,500 videos. Asad, at the time at IBM, was also the president of the IT Society and represented IOBM at national level to win 2 national prizes, Computer Sciences at GIK and FAST. Asad, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for the wonderful intro, and I'm so happy to be here after so long, and this is where I learned everything, and this is where I implement a lot what I'm doing at Food Fusion. So thank you so much for having me.
Asad, it's a pleasure to have you back. What do you think of our studio?
It is a wonderful place. I was pleasantly amazed. I should have been here before. And see and contribute to the alumni, to the students. Because when I was here, I always wished that something like this is here in IOBM. But after seeing this, I never thought there was such an elaborate setup over here. Amazing studio, staff, team, and very professional.
Asad, congratulations on the success.
Thank you.
1.5 billion views, Ramadan, mashallah.
Thank you.
Would you like to take us through your journey, Asad?
Well, Food Fusion was, I would not call it an accidental success. It was more or less planned, but it was always something that we wanted to do. Saima and me, after we got married, we dono Mia Bibi at home. Kya karenge? We used to make something, like can't eat the same kadai every day, can't eat the same thing every day. So we used to experiment a lot with food. But whoever we used to share our food with, they were like, what's the recipe? How did you make it? And at that time, I never used to save the recipe because I used to improvise a lot. I used to do a lot of fusion. And the moment I started writing down the minute details of the recipe, and I started saying, how can I repeat the process? That part was there. I learned, okay, there's a thing called recipe, and that's how you repeat the process. Shared with a few friends, they liked it. Never thought of making a platform or a channel. I was like, I want to do something around this, and in came my promotion. And everything got to the back burner. And now I have to focus on this new role, and I was very busy with my new. I think I became a manager of business services at that time. So and had a new role to do Coke Studio, lead the Coke Studio project at Creative Chaos. So was very busy with that, and again this completely went in the back burner. I never thought about it. Moving forward, we really formally started a digital media department, and everything was separated inside the company, and it was like a separate company inside the company, like a sister concern. I was leading the digital media department as a managing director of operations. I was such a busy, so many clients, everyone have their own set of requirements. But there was this one pitch that I did was for a recipe website for one of our clients. I can't name the client, but it was a recipe website, and we worked really hard on it. It was not videos, but just simple recipe videos, recipes. So we gave the pitch, and the client was like, "I don't think this will work." The client said, "No. We don't have this kind of budget, and I don't think this will work." So like, yeah, how? ये नहीं हो सकता, ये मुझे तो नजर आ रही है लाइट एट द एंड ऑफ द टनल. I think this is very much
And it
doable.
breaks your heart. You
Yeah.
put in your heart and soul in
Exactly.
projects.
It's not in all the projects.
Uh-huh.
Because you have a client requirement and you're fulfilling the requirement.
It was that project.
And it was that one thing, but it was about recipes, written recipes. There was no concept of videos back then.
Right.
YouTube was banned, and but that thing stuck in my mind. And how could I really,
This was 15, 16.
No, this was 11, 12.
Right. Okay.
11, 12.
Okay.
That's after 12, after the YouTube. So YouTube was banned in 2012 October, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
In Pakistan, it was a complete ban on YouTube. The ban was lifted on October 2015. This was a blackout area for the entire industry, for the nation, because YouTube is the biggest platform to learn. Period. Food Fusion, I've learned everything from YouTube. So 3 years was minused out, took out that 3 years for the entire population. You want to do business, you want to fix a problem, you want to repair your TV, you want to fix your phone, everything is there. And we were not there. We didn't have access to that platform. So it was cooking in my mind, okay, video, but how am I going to do video? It's not possible. But as soon as the ban on YouTube was lifted in 2015, I was like, okay, now I have to do something. Initially, when I gave my resignation, I was not going to start Food Fusion. Food Fusion was plan B. Plan A was to make cakes and sell them.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I actually did that just before my promotion,
Right.
back in, I think, 2010 or 11. And we used to make cakes at home, package them.
All
Me
right.
and my wife.
Okay.
We came back from work. कुछ नहीं था काम करने के लिए. No kids at that
You
time.
were making it?
We were making at home.
Oh wow.
And I
Okay.
used to go and give it to a few shops, and it was selling like hot cakes.
Wonderful.
Because people really loved the cakes, and the shop owner was like, I have a complaint. What happened to my cake? Everything okay? I'm going to give you another one. No, the complaint is you don't have enough. You can't make enough. And then the promotion happened, and they completely shelved the project.
Another back
and
burner. Acha,
yeah.
okay.
So that was one of the things that I read. And we were like, okay, I did the calculation. Okay, we need to make this many cakes. We need to have this many mixers. I want to have this oven. So I bought some commercial equipment, mixers, oven, and did the calculation for the ingredients and everything. And just before, when I was like, okay, now I have to start, I'm like, okay, I can sell at 5 shops, 10 shops, maybe 50. But after that, people are going to ask me, you don't have a brand. No one really knows you. You're just like that another cake vendor who gives cakes at the tea shops, और वो साइकिल पे आके और वो केक बन्नी में डाल के चले जाता है. So like, what difference does it make? And how am I going to stand out? I don't have a brand. And making a brand with no money is very difficult.
Yeah.
So I don't know what came into my mind, but like, I'm not doing this. That very day, sat down in the TV lounge with my laptop, and I said, okay, think of a name which is about food. No recipe. I didn't have recipes in mind. I just had food. Fusion came from when we were working on Coke Studio.
All right.
The word fusion. Well, fusion is mixing different types of food fusion. I searched it. It was available. The domain was available. foodfusion.pk. I made the purchase, 2,000 rupees, done. And now is the time to tell my boss that, okay, I resigned for this reason, but I'm not doing this. I'm doing something else now. And he was like, okay, you're confused. This happens.
Take a week.
Take some time off, ease it out. I was like, no, I want to do this. I want to fail and maybe I can come back. But I want to do this.
I want to get it out of my system.
I want to get it out of my system. I want to swallow this pill. Biggest support was my wife, because saying no to a secure job, very good position, 100 people
Comfort
reporting
zone.
to you, the comfort zone. And now I'm saying, and it was very, very difficult to, jump. But she said, I'm with you, whatever you do.
Wonderful.
Okay, then get ready. I sent her to learn editing. She she went with a 25,000 rupee laptop, a used second-hand laptop. I gave her the laptop and said, go and learn how to edit videos. He said, why? Just go and learn how to edit videos. So she used to go to learn editing, and I was serving my notice period. I was doing my thing. Back then there was an e-commerce project going on. I was working on that.
So this project was planned, huh?
Yeah.
Smart.
So,
okay, very good.
So now we are like slowly, now she knows how to edit videos. I ordered a camera with all the savings that I had back then. It was, I think at that time I spent 250,000 rupees on the first camera, and then equipment and everything, and then another 100,000, 350,000. I remember total number, my Excel sheet has a 500,000 rupee investment.
End of service was all going towards that investment.
Yeah, or 500,000 rupee investment. We used to collect a lot of utensils and always had that guilt. I bought this, I'm never using it. It just looks good, and I'm so that also came to my mind. So what we did was removed all the furniture from our drawing room, and then we set it up as a custom studio. So table ek design ki, and that table till date we got 4 of those now. It was a shooting table, and did a lot of iterations with my carpenter on that. And finally came up with the size which is perfect, height, width, and how to style it. So there's a top-down camera and there's a side camera. The 2 cameras we used to shoot with. The first video was with only 1 camera. And how did I learn how to operate? Because I never held a professional camera in my life. My first video shoot was using a phone. Never went live. I just had that. I was not satisfied with that, so never put it live. But I did a complete recipe shoot. I knew, okay, we need a camera from top down, and then we need a camera on side. So I used to spend 3 hours a day, every night, learning about how to use the
shots
camera.
In the perfect place.
Yeah. Kohi Murray, a famous photographer, I asked him that we worked with him on a Coke Studio project. So I asked him, what camera should I buy? He said, buy the GH4 Panasonic. I said, I don't have that kind of money. What else do you suggest? Buy the GH4. I know it's good, but I don't have that kind of money. Okay, then keep the lens that GH4 has, then take a lower body. Then we went with G7 Panasonic, I remember. I still have that camera. It's safe with me, my first camera. So we went with G7, first camera, and before it arrived, before it came into my mind, in my hand, I knew everything about it. I studied it so thoroughly, watched so many YouTube videos that it was like part of myself. I knew how to use the camera before even I had it. So started experimenting, started posting pictures on my Instagram, and my friends were like, "You've gone crazy. You're making these food, sharing these food pictures, and you're not sharing it with us. What's going on?" So I didn't tell them what am I doing. I didn't tell them I have resigned. My parents didn't know until very late, until mid of my notice period, that I told them, okay, now I am resigning. And they were like, you are not going to do this. They were like, okay, beta, whatever you do, we are with you. But how are you going to pay the bills? I said, okay, I have 6 months of reserves. Worst case scenario, I'm going to come and live with you guys. And then maybe that 6 months can go to a year. But I have my worst case scenario sorted.
So they're from a business background, your family background?
No, my father is from education background. He is the Dean Faculty Crop Production in Sindh Agriculture University. And my mother, he's a Fulbright scholar. And my mother, also a Fulbright scholar. She was the librarian in Mehran University of Engineering and Technology. So both, my father is actually a PhD from University of Hawaii. So we very well educated backgrounds.
And educated.
Yes, my father said, my investment is your education. I am not going to invest in anything else. All my children, so he made sure that everyone has the best education. We moved from Hyderabad to Karachi. And it was very difficult to pay the bills back then. From a middle class family, but he made sure that we didn't feel that, and we went through in school here. We went to university. I even got a scholarship at IOBM. I
MashaAllah.
think 2 years I was on a scholarship, so he was very happy with that as well. My brother went to Zabist. I was here. So it was very, you know, elaborate, and it was a very memorable experience that I went through, and really enjoyed how to get the most out of what you have.
Yeah.
So coming back to the camera, I had one camera, and now I know that this is all I have, and how to make the most of it. I knew. I bought 25,000 rupee lights, which I used for a good 4 years at
Wow.
Food Fusion. I still have those lights, and you won't be able to tell that this video is shot with, you know, a 1,000,000 rupee light setup or a 25,000 rupee light setup, because I always say, पीछे भले मंदिर बिठा दें, रिजल्ट क्या आ रहा है वो मैटर करता है.
So that lighting is
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
key to the, I mean,
it was the lighting, and because I spent so much time learning it on YouTube.
Yeah.
A lot of my, you know, the f-stoppers, a lot of YouTube channels, I've even sent donations to them, or supporting money to them, just to thank them, because back then I was not able to do that, but now when I can, I did that because they really played a great role in my learning. And I believe you can't go to any school and learn this, because what you learn yourself, you never forget. It's very important. The practical learning is very important. So I was able to do that. We shot our first video. It took 8 hours in the studio. पूरा पसीने से भरे हुए. I remember it was chili bites, and Saima was cooking. I was doing the shoot, and took so many shots that it was all over the place, the shoot. Finally, we were able to finish the shoot. Then it went to edit. Saima started the edit herself. I used to go to work. Saima is doing the editing. Came back 3 o'clock in the morning. We had 2 kids. Put them to sleep. At 3 o'clock in the morning, we are making pizza. We're shooting a pizza recipe at home. So वो बच्चे सो रहे हैं, हम pizza shoot कर रहे हैं. Shoot खत्म हुआ. Took a 1 hour nap. I had my morning tea, back to work. Shaima is back to sending the kids off to the school, and then learning editing. So it was very busy, and so we did 15 shoots before we launched. So 9th of May 2016, we launched our first video, and before that, we went to a lot of people I knew and showed them, this is what I'm doing.
The concept.
Do you want to sponsor this?
Yeah.
You know, we can put your cooking oil brand here. We can put, you know, your masala brand here. And none of them agreed to doing that. That was a big setback. Okay, I worked really hard, and I knew that this is what they want, but they're not willing to sponsor this. I even said that you will only pay after you get the views. Don't pay anything. They said no. I was like, okay, now what do I do?
And you were coming from the industry.
Yeah, I was coming from the industry, so I had access to all these people. I knew these people. We were like, okay.
No pre-seed investors.
No investors. It's all bootstrapped, 100% bootstrapped, not a single rupee from anywhere else. So what we did was, we said, okay, we've come this far, we're going to launch. 9th of May, we put out the first video. I remember my internet connection was so slow, it took me 5 hours to upload the video. I was like, okay, I have to spend 5 hours uploading a video every day. It's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a challenge.
And I even upgraded. So back then, the upload speed on my connection was very slow. Download was fast, upload was slow. So I switched my connection, took some time there. I moved to I went to work to upload the video on the other platforms, Facebook and all. So YouTube was not even under consideration. I used to upload maybe the next day on YouTube. I used to first upload on Facebook. Shared it with my friends, told them to like them, and I went to each and every one of our colleagues and, did you like my channel? So I got the first 100 subscribers playing the boss role. Like my channel, I'm your boss.
And subscribe on
and subscribe my channel. Okay, boss, I'm going to do it. No, nahi, abhi mere samne karo, do it. Because I needed 100 subscribers to get my username. So got the username. Back then it was 100 subscribers. I don't know how many are there right now. So got the username, got the subscribers. It was a good experience back then. So all of a sudden, the Facebook video started getting views immediately. Like it became viral. And his first video was, I think, chicken cheese paratha, and then we did the kadai recipe.
And these were planned, or they were just random ones and you said in
No, these are all pre-shot 15 recipes we did before launch. So I just had to pick which one I have to release first.
Okay.
So we did the paratha first, which in my view it was not the best one. Then I said, okay, I'm going to raise the bar. And then we did the kadai, and then we did the chili bites. It went crazy. People started sending in requests. Within 7 days, we reached 50,000 followers on Facebook.
Bravo.
And more than, I think, 400,000 views. 7 days of launch. And I think I spent about 50,000 rupees on media buying back then. So it was crazy. I was like, okay, we have to deal with responding all these people. So Saima and me were up all night responding to all these people. We bought power banks for the first time because we need to charge our phone. We hired a driver so that we can sit back in the car and respond to messages wherever we are going, rather than, so day 7, I get a call. I got a call from Mindshare. And they're saying that I have this client. You're calling from food. You're from Food Fusion? Yes. How are you doing? And I was like, they know me because of my previous role. So they said, we have a client. He wants to do integration in a recipe video. Okay. But are you calling for Food Fusion, or are you calling for because I'm working at Creative Chaos? Or you work at Creative Chaos? I didn't know that. I'm calling for Food Fusion. Because back then my number was on the page. I didn't share it was out there. Please call me and I'll. So they took the number from the page, gave me a call, and that call was because they saw a Food Fusion video, not because I was working at Creative Chaos. And I was like, okay, this is big.
Now you're on the road.
Tell me, what do you want, and I'll do it. At that time, I had to make a big decision because the first brand was Surf Excel.
Oh.
Okay, and I was like, okay, this is not a food brand, but they have a campaign coming which is food stains. So we very creatively integrated. We had a Surf Excel napkin which was ruined in the shoot, and there was things falling down, and we had to clean it. So we integrated that. That was our first brand integration, and after that brand integration, we were at break even. Food Fusion, day 9 was at break even. Day 9 we got that call. Sorry, not day 7, day 9 we got that call. We were at break even. And it was such a big thing on books. Of course, it takes money. It takes time for the money to come in. Then there was a roller coaster. We had Knorr, we had Sufi, we had Vim. All these brands started pouring in because it was the launch was strategically planned because it was just before Ramzan. And everyone had to do something new in Ramzan, and Food Fusion was the only new thing in food in Ramzan. Back then, I think Nestle had their platform for recipes, and I was like, oh, this is my competition. National had their platform. Shan had, all of them were competition.
Yeah. Established
by day
paid
7,
platforms. Yeah.
Day 7, all of them were behind. We, like Food Fusion, just with 4 or 5 videos, we just went on number 1. And if I was to measure, so I was like, okay, now we really need to push the envelope. And it was very near to my notice period being finished. So we closed a year-long deal with Allpers.
Wonderful.
And I said, okay, I'll do it, but they were asking for a discount. I said, okay, I'll give you a discount, but I need an advance. Only if you give me, I'll give you a discount. So got that advance, spent the entire advance setting up the new office. Took 3 months to set up the new office. 2017, we were in the new office. And there was no looking back after that. We hired people. Initially, we were working with just 2 interns. And we hired people. We really, really made a process which is repeatable. Food Fusion's success, I think everyone can make recipe videos, everyone can shoot. one of the biggest success was timing and the speed that we were working in. There was not a single day, like if you count the number of days from day one of launch till now, then the number of days are less and the number of videos you've done are more. So there's more than one video a day that we release. This Ramzan only, we release on average of 4.5 videos a day.
Wow.
And it was crazy. Every Ramzan is very, very busy for us. We started shooting for Ramzan in November last year. This year's Ramzan, and we were late. We had to start from October. We were late. So that's how much planned we become. And when you're shooting a recipe video, a lot of moving parts.
Oh yes.
A lot of things, research. We have a test kitchen separately. So when you are testing a recipe, only after you have passed the taste test, then you can consider it for going to shoot. But that's not the only thing. We also make sure that we have to simplify the recipe.
Oh yes.
We have to make sure that the ingredients are locally available. If they are not available, then we partner with an emerging brand which has the ingredient, so that our audience can actually make it.
Very smart. Very smart.
That was the only thing. We remember there was Tasty back then. So yes. Tasty was a very big thing, BuzzFeed, but now I don't know what's happened to Tasty, but it was a very big thing.
Suddenly it has disappeared.
Yeah, it has disappeared. After COVID, they did some layoffs, but I don't know what happened. BuzzFeed is still alive. It was in losses back then, but now there are other players, Yummy and Delight and this Tastemade. But they were all startups. Again, they were funded.
Yes.
When you are funded, you waste money. I think Food Fusion is the most optimized content workflow that I have come across. Not being biased that I'm the founder.
3,500 videos. I'm impressed. I mean,
from a financial standpoint, we are very optimized.
Right.
So until year 4, I didn't know what I do, what to call myself. Then one of my cousins who is in the media industry, he told me that what you do is called direction.
Right.
You direct the videos. Oh, that's what I do. I'm called a director. Okay. And what does Saima do? Oh, she's the producer.
Right.
अच्छा, producer इसको बोलते हैं. मुझे तो नहीं पता था. And what else? She's also the stylist.
Yeah,
and ये lighting
lighting
भी मैं ही करता हूँ. मतलब उसमें क्या?
Cameraman भी मैं ही हूँ.
उसमें कौन सी बड़ी बात है?
Right.
हम कर लेते हैं. कैमरा भी मैं ही चलाता हूँ. So you are also the videographer. मैं direct भी मैं कर रहा हूँ. We playing multiple hats and so on set we have chef.
Right.
We have 2 camera. पहले एक ही था मैं. So I'll just come to how we used to initially do it. 1 person taking care of the camera, 1 chef and 1 kitchen helper. 3 people. That's it. No one else. 3 people. We used to shoot start to end 2 videos a day. Our record is 5 videos a day. Shoot complete. And we set a record of shooting till go live 4 hours. From concept, shoot, edit, go live, 4 hours. So we from procurement of the ingredients, setting up the frame, we really pushed ourselves to say that, okay, how optimized can we make this process?
Right.
So now I'm sitting here, my team is busy shooting another video. We're shooting 2 videos today. I know what is they know which kind of angles to take, and it's such a repetitive task now that they know exactly what to do. There are some videos that require my specific attention. I'm almost there in almost all the shoots. If I'm not there, I have a big screen in my room which is giving me a live feed to what is being shot. So I can immediately, studios right across, so I just walk in and say that, don't do it this way, fix this, take this camera angle.
So you're still playing the director
I'm still playing that role.
That's very good.
Because I really feel that, I'm that perfectionist. मुझे वो बड़ी खुजली होती है कि अगर if you're not getting that shot the way I've imagined it, then you're not with me. Then I make them take a shot, take a low shot, take a high shot. And if you ask me, I can make food look good. Making people look good, you guys know that before coming here. So I can make food look good. And one of the biggest things that I've learned is food that looks good and you eat the same thing, because it's not that the in the case, because when you're shooting ads and commercials, you can't eat that. It's not edible, or there is
That's a total different
total
version,
different thing. But what you see in a food fusion video is exactly what we eat.
Right.
There's no making it look pretty by adding something else. It's all natural, and you see that smoke coming out. It's all natural. We're not adding fake smoke or fake ice or anything. It is all natural. So that's one of the things which you've mastered over the time. If you tell me to take pictures or photography, I'm not a good food photographer. I can do good food videos. I know how to.
So everything that we see in food fusion is all natural.
It's all natural. Nothing is
done up. Nothing has been styled.
It's all natural. It is all tested.
Wonderful.
Before it goes to shoot, it is tested. Or if we are in a hurry, we are quite confident. Only it goes live only if it passes the taste test. If it does not pass the taste test, we have so many videos we haven't even released. Shoot has been completed, but we have not released it, simply because it's not passing the taste test.
Wonderful. Asad, tell us a little bit about your journey at IOBM. I mean, president of the IT Society, scoring national records.
IOBM is so close to my heart. It is when I made so many friends who we still meet every year, every month. I keep in touch with them, and it was a life that student life I will never forget, and I really enjoyed it, especially because I moved to Karachi to come to IOBM, and it was very, very important for me in my life. If you're living in Karachi, you're like, okay, I need to go to university, but I was here for IOBM. I moved for IOBM.
You got admission, and then
I got admission, and I had to move to study here. So we moved from Hyderabad. We used to live in Hyderabad. I was going to school there. I moved with my brother over here. He went to Zabist. I went to IBM. And at that time, my first semester was like overwhelming. I didn't know what to do. And at that time, there was N-1. So I failed in most of my first hourlies.
All right.
I was like, okay, this is not happening. I almost fell apart. Then I made a very good friend, a lot of very good friends. I used to go to him. I used to spend nights over there and study with him. After that, from failing, went to 98% marks in my subjects. Computer science.
This was a good friend.
So it was a very good friend, and he really
helped.
I helped him. He helped me, and I passed with a very good GPA. I don't even remember the GPA back then.
So this was the IT side, or this was the
MBA? BCS.
Okay, this is still BCS.
This is BCS. The first semester.
Yeah.
I failed. Like I used to be known in my family as the computer guy. Before coming to IBM, it was by choice.
So your bachelor's was IT.
Yes.
You started with IT.
With IT.
IOBM.
So I used to be known as the computer ke keede hain sare.
Wonderful.
We used to make websites and sponsored in Spider magazine back then in Dawn. So when I came here, failing the first hourly was very like, okay, this is not happening, and I need to do. So rolled up my sleeves, opened up my brain, and second and third hourly, there was no strike one, strike two. We just had that one shot. Passed through. Then I was like, okay, now I am in control. Second semester got a scholarship. Third also a scholarship, and then fourth I didn't. I was not on a scholarship. There were a few subjects in which didn't get good marks, but I was there, and I became known as one of the top computer science students in that batch. So everyone was asking for help, especially with programming languages. I remember there was this teacher, Khurram Pradhan. He was an artificial intelligence teacher. So he said, I failed in 2 of his hourlies. Failed. He said, whoever makes artificial intelligence chess game in his final project, I'm going to give them an A grade. Doesn't matter what grade you have in the past.
Great deal. Okay.
I was like, okay, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. And I made this chess game with 3 of my group mates who were group mates, and I was doing most of the job. Like, okay, I'm going to be with you the presentation. I'm going to get you some snacks. I'm going to do that. So वो एक जो होता है ना,
Someone's going to do the hard work.
someone is going to do that. So there, we really worked on the rule set. I remember programming the chess game was such a difficult task, and the day we had to present it, it was not working. And 1 hour before, I was the class teacher's assistant at that time as well. So the teacher called me 1 hour before the class and he said, Asad, I'm not going to be able to make to the class today. We'll have to reschedule it for day after tomorrow. And I said, okay. Okay, sir, but we were ready for it. I was like, अच्छा, okay, चले मैं बता देता हूँ सबको. I gave the good news to everyone. They were all,
बचत होगी.
Those 2 days, we spent all-nighters, and finally we were able to crack the algorithm. And our chess game was able to beat us in chess. I came to the, we actually programmed it for, we call it node or cloud computing, where 2-3 computers talk to each other. So we had a big lab in CCSIS. So I wrote a program where the processing power, we were limited with the processing power and the memory.
Right.
So we wrote a program to share processing power with the entire lab. And normally a chess game looks at 3 moves ahead. I was able to go 4 moves ahead. Each step is multiple folds difficult, and it takes much more time to compute those possibilities of moves and take out. So I was like, okay, wrote that program, came in 1 hour before to the lab, set it up in all the computers, and that one computer was ready to play the chess game. And I've never tested that game before. I was like, okay, I'm taking this risk.
Final
if
exam,
it doesn't
final
work,
presentation.
If it doesn't work, I'm going to go to the other one, which looks 3 moves ahead. Back then, we had our head of department, Ejaz Ansari. He was he liked chess. So I called him, sir, can you please come, and I want to. So Sir Khurram Pradhan said, please call him because he likes chess. So he came in. He actually started playing with the chess game.
Right.
First move, second move, third move, the piece wasn't moving. I moved it, it came back. He was moving and then came back.
Bug.
And he said, there's a bug. At that time when he said there's a bug, our teacher Khurram Pradhan started clapping. I'm like, what? I didn't even know what happened. So he said, sir, you're checkmate. And Asad, please fix this. You need to write a message checkmate because the piece isn't moving because he's checkmate. In 3 moves, he was checkmate. I was almost crying at that time. I still remember, I proudly tell this story to my daughter, my children, and it is the most memorable part of IOBM. That this was, and after that, as the graduation final year project, our prospectus had that you had to do a final year project. And I was the only person, there's no group, I was the only person doing the final year project by choice. And we took digital image processing as a subject. We had assembly language as a subject, and digital logic as a subject. These 3 subjects, our teachers, Sir Zishan, Sir Noman Nandwani, and Sir Amir Asif. No, Sir Amir, yes. All of them taught us these 3 subjects. But I wanted to practically do this, practically implement. Okay, digital logic, I want to see how a circuit uses it. Assembly language, how do you program a microcontroller using assembly language? And digital logic, how do you process image with assembly language?
Oh, yes.
I wanted to really practically do it. I was one of those students for which the teacher used to prepare that Asad is coming to class today. So I asked so many questions.
You'll ask the difficult questions.
I always used to ask, okay, you're teaching me assembly language, how do I implement this?
Yeah.
You're saying that this is how it happens in the computer. Now show me how do I use it. He said, you are in the computer science program, you are not in the electronics program. So okay, what if I want to do it? Do it in your final year project. Okay, I'll do it. In the final year project,
Here comes the thing.
I made a machine called CNC machine, this is back in 2004. CNC is so common these days. These tiles and everything you see, it is computer controlled tooling. So I actually made that machine. I was a handyman. I built the machine from scratch. I went to the Sher Shah Chamra Godam to different, took apart photocopy machines, printers, and took out the motors. I developed a circuit, again learning it from books. Back then there was no YouTube, so learning from books. So there was a microcontroller called Atmel 89C72. And that microcontroller I programmed using assembly language. So I told my teacher Sazishan, he said that, how did you do this? You taught me how to do this. I have programmed it. It was all zeros and ones. And that microcontroller was programmed to control the machine. And then that microcontroller was also connecting to the computer. I wrote a program in Visual Basic using digital image processing. So an image given to it, it was used to do the edge detection algorithm, pick the edges, and the machine used to start to
outlines
cut. Now that project was, I got an A grade of course for that, but then I took that project to GIK, Softcom, and I got a prize
That was
over
your
there.
project.
And then Procom, I won second prize over there in FAST. And it was an amazing thing for me. After that, I kept getting invitation that हमारे पास भी participate करें. I was like, no, I've proven myself. अब मुझे आगे बढ़ना है. Because that time, after that, in 2005, I was enrolled for MBA. I took my sweet time in MBA. I had a laid back attitude. I had a job. I used to take 1 or 2 courses in a semester. Finished my MBA in 2008. It was a 2-year program. It took 4 years to finish it.
And you were working as well?
Yes, and in MBA as well, I used to bother the teachers. I'm working. Tell me what you're teaching. How do I implement this? Because what you're saying is all bookish. Ground पे ये हो रहा है. कैसे मैं वो
करूं? So this was an evening or a weekend MBA?
This is I used to take courses mostly in the weekends.
Right.
Some courses in weekdays, and my employer allowed me to do that. So I was very comfortable. They were very welcoming in doing that, and thoroughly enjoyed the whole process. I even remember there was this course. It was digital logic. I took that course, and I literally spent 15 minutes, and I got an A grade for the final exam. 15 minutes learning. Awesome. I went to Sir Talib Karim and I said, "Sir, I have a request. I don't have the money to pay for this course again, but I don't think I've learned anything. Can I retake this course?" He's like, "Okay, this is the first one. You got an A grade."
Yeah.
And there was one other teacher who was he had a very different way of teaching
the same subject.
Teaching the same, he had a different approach to it. Sir Toa Minai. And I said, I want to take a course from him. So I went again, and then he was like, okay, I'm going to grant you, because this is the first of its kind request. So Sir Talib Karim granted me that request, and then I was able to retake the course. And from him, I got a C grade. But I said, no, I want my A grade, but I want to learn from him. That was the foundation. That course was the foundation of all computer science knowledge that I have till date. I started my career as quality assurance engineer, in which I was writing automated scripts to test computer programs. All technology there then moved to a company called Catco International, which is working on the National Education Database project. This is again back in 2005.
Wow.
Working on National Education Database project, we're training government school teachers to use a school management system, learning management system, working on product development, working on a cloud-based school system where we were running marketing campaigns. And it was I was playing multiple roles over there. It was a startup.
How interesting. Wow.
I used to go and teach school teachers, and that's where I learned a lot of patience because it was very difficult to do that.
I'm
because
sure, yes.
from government school teachers, we picked the best from them, but even then, it was very challenging to work with them. I remember one very important thing that I did over there. It was the first time I ever heard that there's a cloud thing. So there was Go CDMA, if you remember. The Go CDMA phones, this big size phones, normal जैसे PT cell के phones होते हैं.
एंटेना भी होता था.
हाँ, उसमें हम connect करके USB से internet चलाते. So okay, if there is internet, then which means that there must be a data center. If there's a data center, we can talk to them. We can put our application in the data center, and there will be centralized data. Because before that, we used to go install this web application to all the schools, and then we used to go and collect data from all the schools, and we used to travel, and I didn't like that traveling. Like, okay, I'm not going to go to them. We're going to talk to them on that CDMA phone, which is Go CDMA to Go CDMA is free. So we can talk and train them on phone, and all the data is coming to the cloud. So that's when 2005 we signed an MOU with Go CDMA, and we were able to put that school management system on the cloud and give every school a CDMA phone with which they can access the cloud application. And we had centralized stats. This school has smart kids in maths. This school is doing good in English. This teacher is really good. So we were attendance, teacher absenteeism, all that was we were able to do the big data analysis.
Way ahead of its time. Huh?
Way ahead of its time.
Wonderful, yeah.
So I think it was way ahead of its time. That's why maybe the funding got pulled off or something. But so that CATCO International got rebranded to DOTS Technologies, and that's when we started working on telemedicine. And we're doing webcam to webcam, and then patient on one side, doctor on the other side. It was a project sponsored by Intel. So working on that project as well. Then I moved to Creative Chaos, which was my last assignment before Food Fusion.
Yeah. And that was, a brilliant assignment. You went through all the roles and
exactly.
rose to the rank of managing director of the.
Yeah, I was managing director of operations, and took care of pretty much all the operations. We had an elaborate team, and still in touch with them. At that time, it was known that if you pick up any digital media agency, one of those members will be trained by Asad. And because I used to learn all those things myself, I was able to give a first-hand knowledge to all my teammates. And now they are all over Pakistan, which helps me as well as Food Fusion in digital media agencies.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And is it a big team, Asad, you have right now at
Food We don't have such a big team. We have around 15 people, 15 full-time, and then we have a very big list of part-time cooking experts who are on call.
Right.
So depending on the type of recipe, depending on what kind of shoot we want to do, so we call them.
How's the business right now? Digital content creation, so many platforms now.
It is booming. It is moving towards maturity. But all those people who started at the right time is pre-COVID. Anything pre-COVID, everyone pre-COVID has succeeded. Like, at least from how I see it, because there was this jump that happened and 5x viewership before COVID. So right now the ecosystem is there's more demand than what we have.
Right.
Which is a very good thing. But there is a lot of checks and balances that need to be done. It is called the influencer marketing. All this is a new thing for a lot of brand managers, for a lot of companies. And the companies who have not embraced digital completely, it is very difficult for them to absorb this. And they are being outperformed by newcomers who know how to play the platform. So there's e-commerce and there's influencer marketing. You put both of them together, it gives you explosive growth. And I think we have really, really played a big role in maturing the market and making sure and telling them people how it's done. Being the one of the leaders in digital only content creation. Digital only was not the case. It was only television first and then digital second. Whatever you put on television, just upload it on YouTube, it will work. Still, that a lot of that happens, but now it's the other way around. Now television channels are stealing our content.
Oh yes.
And they are putting our content on their TV screens without asking permission. So we're having that problem now. Food fusion videos being played on TV without permission. That's happening. So I know in a way that's success.
That's success.
Only imitation is the best form of.
I think a few things you guys are doing so well. One is Digital Ami.
Yes. That is a title which we are very proud of, and it is given by our fans to us. Calling someone your Ami has a very deep meaning.
Strong endorsement.
Very strong endorsement, and a very emotional endorsement. So before Food Fusion, लड़कियों की शादी होती थी, भाई दुबई चले गए, अमेरिका चले गए, ससुराल चले गए. Now they are under pressure. They are under pressure कि भाई अब उन्हें अच्छा खाना बनाना है. That is like we have, and that's a story of every household. And they used to call their mother. Now mother ज़बान से बताएंगी कि भाई ऐसे करो, ये करो बेटा, ये दाल ऐसे बनेगी. And they never used to get the result that जैसे अम्मी बनाती है. Now they have a Food Fusion video. No matter how many times they try it, they always get the same result. And even when they ask their mother shares a Food Fusion video. Here you go.
Here's the solution.
So here's the solution. Your kid, their kid is going to study abroad. बेटा ये दाल बनाना, ये कीमा ऐसे बनेगा, अंडा आपने ऐसे बनाना है, ये ऐसे करना है. Sending you the links and they're doing it. So one thing which we are really proud of is that wherever I go, I try food, and if it's good, doesn't matter who has cooked it. It could be a chef, it could be a khansama, it could be anyone. I request them to come to Food Fusion and help us store this recipe in a beautiful Food Fusion video. So we've been able to give opportunities to so many people, irrespective of their housewives or they have a kid to take care of. We ask them, when are you free? Just tell me, when are you free? I'm free, but I don't know how to talk in front of the camera. You don't need to. You don't need to talk in front of the camera. Before that, on a television show, you need to talk, you need to know how to talk.
You need a nice presentable face, you need to...
and then know how to cook.
Right.
Food is the king. Food is the king. That is what you need to know. You don't need to know how to talk or present yourself or how you're looking. That doesn't matter. You just need to have clean hands with which you need to show your magic. That's it. And we will take care of the rest.
And this is something that you guys developed it yourself.
Yes.
This brand.
This brand, and we made sure that I tried this जैसे बोलते हैं ना सौंफ का mouth freshener. My khala makes it very nicely, so I called her in. I said, no, please come in. मैं कैसे करूँगी मुझे तो नहीं पता. Come in. We will ease out. If you're not comfortable with the result, we will not release it. Just come over. Came over, and then she gave the written recipe. मुझे measurements तो मैं हाथ से वो करती हूँ तो मुझे तो इतना नहीं. Just do it with hand. So she did it with hand. We measured it immediately. We documented. There's one person documenting each recipe to the detail, and then I simplified the process, shot it, made her comfortable. She's like, okay, मेरा तो चेहरा ही नजर नहीं आ रहा. तो now she's more comfortable. Okay, now ये तो वैसे होता है. अब ये तो कैमरा पे मेरा चेहरा नहीं आ रहा, मेरे हाथ आ रहे. So now she's ready and shot the recipe. So happy with the result. Now we have our 50-year-old recipe saved preserved in video. Similarly, my mother, she makes busri. It is meetha paratha in Sindhi. So she had this unique technique of folding the paratha. So I called her and she was like, I don't know how to shoot. But I said, I don't have anyone else who can shoot
Camera
for me.
shyness is there.
Yeah. I said, you have to do it.
हाँ,
मैंने अपनी नौकरी छोड़ दी है,
हाँ,
ठीक है, मेरे पास यही है,
हाँ.
so you have to do it. She's like, okay बेटा, I'll do it for you. अब जो भी होता है देखते हैं, अल्लाह मालिक. And then she shot a lot of videos with us. So my great grandfather's recipe is a 100-year-old recipe, is aam ka achar. She still makes it today. My mother and my father make. So I shot a recipe with both of them in the video. My father is peeling the curries, my mother is doing the cutting and mixing the masalas. We have that preserved in a beautiful food fusion video. So objective was that, okay, me and Saima, we could have very easily named it Asad and Saima Cooking Channel. But that's not the case. We wanted to create something which is a brand. Remember, the cakes need a brand.
Yeah.
So we wanted to create a brand which is known for itself. So if a fan meets me, you are the food fusion guy. They don't say you're Asad. You're the food fusion guy. And that makes me very happy.
Known by the brand.
Known by the brand. I'm the food fusion guy, yes. And we also call ourselves Mr. and Mrs. Food Fusion. So we created this brand, and now whatever we do is going to be named by the brand. Even we are not here in this world, our work is going to be there, and it's going to be there for everyone to make good food in their kitchens.
And what I love, Asad, about food fusion is everyone can cook.
Yes.
This is so powerful. I mean, for the challenging the taboo that it's just the girls and the housewives are supposed to kind of manage the kitchen.
Yes.
Everyone can cook.
Whenever I come in front of the camera, I sort of pull legs for the men. Men in the kitchen. क्योंकि ये मैं कर रहा हूँ, मैं ये omelette बना रहा हूँ.
Chef.
Huh?
You know, for all the right reasons.
I don't call myself a chef. I'm a cooking expert maybe, but because I experiment a lot, I can cook. Making a breakfast is my duty every Sunday to make breakfast for kids, my wife. It's like a duty. कि यार मेरी छुट्टी है आज, और वो मुझे breakfast in bed चाहिए. ठीक है, तो वो, and every Sunday I create something new on the table. So, and with the videos I encourage men to cook. And even if I don't encourage them, when they go out to study, they have to cook. So they, one way or the other, they end up cooking.
This is their lifeline.
Yes.
I mean, for the nephews and the nieces that
in COVID,
so
many people lost their jobs. And just recently, one of the fans met me. I was at a grocery store, and this guy came and he hugged me. He didn't even ask me permission. He just hugged me. Sir, I'm so happy to meet you. And he was crying. Like, what happened? Nice to meet you. Sir, you don't know how much you've helped me in my life. What happened? But in COVID, both me and my wife, we lost our jobs. And we didn't know how to survive. We lived in an apartment complex. We didn't have rent. And your videos started coming in, and you were doing that make and freeze series. So what they did was they started making frozen food for themselves, and they started selling it in their apartment complex. And that is now their business.
Wonderful.
They quit their job. They didn't go to job again. They are running a business out of it. I get a message from a ठेला वाला. He said, "Sir, मैंने आज आपकी जिंगर बर्गर वाली रेसिपी बनाई और मेरे आज 40 बर्गर बिके." और वो अपनी टूटी फूटी इंग्लिश में लिख के. He was so happy. I could tell from the way he's writing. I was thanking. KDSP, I went there. A lot of Down syndrome students are following our recipes. I was in jogging on the jogging track. One of the fellow person, he came in and he said that he was not talking. So I realized he's deaf. He can't talk. But he said, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. We don't talk in our videos. We have all the instructions written.
Yes.
So he can see and make food. And that's brilliant. I never realized that.
That's so rewarding.
So rewarding. And that's what really makes us do what we do every day.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah. God has been so kind, and being able to do this, it's so rewarding.
I am a testament to one of them. Much recently, my brother shared a strawberry jams
Yes.
recipe, and I was kind of stuck. So what I do, I scroll is like, Asad ka food fusion dekhte hain. And
Yeah,
it
it's
came
a
out
good
very
recipe.
nicely. Thank
It's
you
a
so
good
much for that.
recipe.
Asad, message for budding entrepreneurs. We are seeing a brilliant journey of yourself, Saima, developing this great channel, helping the world, helping the youth, helping us in Pakistan enjoying these wonderful kadais and biryanis. So, I mean, we got a lot of entrepreneurs who are listening to our message and our video. What message would you like to share?
Entrepreneurship is something which needs to be a passion. Whatever you're doing, at least that's my story, or what I would always tell people. Whatever you're doing, of course, get good at what you do, enjoy it, and then get people to pay you to do it. Getting people to pay you to do it makes your passion into an entrepreneurship, because you know how to do something really good. It could be something small, it could be something big. There's always going to be a difference between being an entrepreneur and being a businessman. And that difference is the innovation that you bring to something. Let's say you're selling cars, and one way you're selling car, you're running a business. You have park wheels, you're an entrepreneur. Because there you're also selling cars, but you don't own any cars, but you're selling cars and you're making money out of it. So many industries have been redefined.
Yes.
And that to aspiring entrepreneurs, just do what you do best, get people to pay you for it. But make sure that money is the second objective. Because money will always follow you. If you are good at what you do, money will always follow you. I firmly believe, recently I learned how to make dhaba tea.
Okay.
That signature Karachi tea, I have my kit, I take it everywhere. It has that chula, it has the camping stove, the patti, the blend, everything. But how did I learn how to do it? I did it at least 100 times to be able to get it right.
I was just about to say 100 times, huh?
Yeah, I did it many times, failed, got it right, but not able to repeat it again. Repeatable process. And I learned it. Making tea is an art.
That process improvement is so important.
Just across the street, I have a dhaba wala, it's a Quetta hotel, and I used to stand in front of it, and I bought 2 cups of tea from him for a good 2 months. And all I used to do was stand 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, place the order for 2 cups of tea, bring it back, sip it, see how consistent he is, what is the variation, how he makes it, kya karta hai wo, and then I finally cracked it. So you do it so many times. Similarly, if you're an entrepreneur, you have that process and you are repeating it, and you get, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah, that mindset of problem solving has to be there.
Yeah, like Bill Gates says, when you're optimizing, I just remember this, that if you want a difficult job, a lengthy, a very cumbersome job, give it to the most lazy person, because he's going to find the best way, the shortest and easiest way to do it. So entrepreneurs are lazy. If you are a good entrepreneur, you will be lazy or slacking in something, because then you want to do something and you will find the best way to do it, which actually solves the problem. Now, Pakistan mein jitni opportunity hai na, kahin nahi hai, because there are a lot of problems. Every problem needs a solution, and every problem needs an entrepreneur to come in and do it right.
And that's where the success is.
That's where the success is. वो होता है कि एक वो शुरू हो गया कि okay, here's Food Fusion, I'm also going to make a channel like this, I'm also going to make it. Of course, you can, but until and unless you don't bring your own innovation, you're not going to succeed. You can't be like someone else and be better than
No, I'm awed by 5 videos a day and the kind of process that you guys have developed.
From the point of shoot till going live, there is a clear process, and I don't mess with the process. I optimize it, test it. Right now we're testing with vertical videos. We know how much impact this will make. So we optimize it, and then we change the process. Everything is organized. From day one it was not. But now if you say, okay, this is your 105th video, do you have the footage for it? I can take it out like this. I have everything organized. So when you make a process, when you improve upon something, you get better at it. So do something, get better at it. Fixing a problem will be easy if you do it many times. First time and the 100th time will always be a big difference. And do that. मैं ये बोलता हूँ कि कोई भी content creator आता है सर कि I want to launch my YouTube channel. What should I do? Simple. Launch your YouTube channel. Be embarrassed by your first video. If you're not embarrassed by your first video, you're not trying hard enough. Because if you're not embarrassed, which means you're not improving. I'm embarrassed by my first video. I don't want to show it to people. कि यार ये क्या किया था? ये food fusion तो नहीं है.
Yeah.
Because I know I made so many mistakes.
You gotta do it again and again and again to improve.
And you would see that progression. Okay. Text style सही नहीं था, camera angle सही नहीं था, styling सही नहीं थी, lighting improve की. By doing it 3,000 times, you have to improve, right?
Yeah.
So we kept on improving. Now there are new avenues. Now we have a brand. We are launching products now. So there's ChaiCon happening. So we're going to be launching our first product at ChaiCon.
Wonderful.
In Karachi next month. It's also Food Fusion's anniversary. So it's Food Fusion's birthday. So we're going to be launching.
Congratulations. Okay.
Yeah, and we're also launching another channel by the name of, I'm not going to name name it, but it is a DIY channel.
Excellent.
So it's my passion to work with wood, plastic. I even make shoes. So make so many things. So different kind of hobbies. So if I'm doing it, I have my huge workshop at
Might
home.
as well, yeah.
So might as well shoot it, and so I've created some videos. I'm going to be launching that very soon.
Excellent.
So expanding that way.
I think chai is such a, interesting category. I've worked in, organizations like Nestle and organizations who've been into tea, Rabia tea, Pakistan and the Middle East. That's such an exciting category to get into.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the name of the event is ChaiCon by Azad Chaiwala.
Yes. Okay.
So the product is something else. It may be tea also. I've created a tea blend, which is why I'm able to make the dhaba tea. The tea blend is also another thing. Maybe we can get into the chai space, but the product is something else.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I look forward to that, Asad.
Yeah.
Asad, we've got, such an exciting discussion on this thing. Where is your North Star? Where do you see Food Fusion moving towards?
I see food. So we've created the brand. Now with this brand, there's so many things that we can do. It's very difficult for us to pick what to do first. Everyone tells us make a restaurant, launch a restaurant. And we're like, I tried doing it in the sense that we did a 3-day event where we cooked food. I was like, okay, I can do it for 3 days, but it took us 1 month to prepare for it.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy thing to do. Either you could run a restaurant, the kind of perfectionists we are, we can't run a restaurant by not being there.
Yeah.
We really need to be involved in it.
Yeah.
So whatever we do, we get involved in it. So what we did was, one thing is that we're creating recipes for restaurants, which becomes part of their menu under the Food Fusion section in their menu. So that's how restaurants get signature Food Fusion recipes. They get footfall, traffic, that okay, we're going to go try something made by Food Fusion at that restaurant. So we're doing that. One of the restaurants we have already worked with is in UK. It's called Chai Master. It's a street food style restaurant. We've got 2 branches in UK, and pretty much all their menu has been developed by Food Fusion, and we did that in the lockdown.
Very nice. Very nice.
It took us 2 years to make their menu.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Asad, we'd like to now take you to our very interesting session in which we'll throw some sweetness to yourself.
Okay.
And we'll expect some top of mind feedback. So, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Content or creativity?
Creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Creativity.
That's the key.
If you're creative, then everything
Falls
will
into
fall in
trap.
place.
Yeah. Your favorite brand, Asad?
My favorite brand, of course, after Food Fusion, I'm not a very brand conscious person, but I don't even have a top of mind. Brand of what?
Up to you. I mean, that's an open question. You're wearing a polo cap. That's what I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
polo cap. Yeah, it's because this is the only yellow cap I can find.
Right.
There's no other quality yellow cap I can find. But if you talk about clothing brand, it is Cambridge. I like Cambridge shalwar kameez. They just go really well with me.
Hands down, cotton is
yeah, Cambridge
one of the best.
is best. Khadi doesn't make good men, but
not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Yeah,
men
they've
can
kind
make
of
it.
walked out of it. Any startup formula that you like to suggest?
Startup formula: put in your own money and bootstrap it. Bring it to a profitable place before asking for funding.
Yeah.
Don't ask for funding from day one. Burn your own money. Feel for it. I really think that all the startups, they don't feel for the people injecting money in their startup. They just burn the cash like anything, and that, just looking at it, hurts me.
Wrong KPIs.
Yeah.
Your favorite subject at CBM?
Entrepreneurship. Salman Beg, my friend, my cycling buddy, and a very good mentor.
And General Secretary of the Alumni Association.
General Secretary of the Alumni Association.
Future.
Food Fusion, Pakistan's #1 food brand.
Favorite recipe?
Favorite recipe, barbecue rice.
Challenge.
Anyone says it cannot be done. Food Fusion, someone told me it can't be done. That CNC machine, someone told me it can't be done. Chess game, someone told me it can't be done. So anyone who says it can't be done and I'm up for it, I'll do it. So any challenge where someone comes in, yaar, ye possible hi nahi hai, nahi ho sakta.
Bring it to Asad Memon. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Ideation.
Involve everyone. Listen to everyone. Do what you think is right.
Excitement.
Challenges, excitement.
That is what keeps you up at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Excitement. Doing something new, doing something which everyone thinks कि यार ये तो नहीं हो सकता या ये नहीं चलेगा. Like I swim against the current. So I'm like the salmon who goes against the palla machi. Who goes against the current. So everyone goes this direction. I would like to be the ugly duckling going the other side, which is very. When you're doing something that everyone is doing, it doesn't excite me. What turns me on is like, okay, I'm doing this. 10 people like it right now. That's good enough for me. I'm going to make many people like it, but this is what needs to be done. And tell people that this is what you need, like the iPhone. Steve Jobs says, we tell people that this is what you should have. This is how it should be done. Then everyone falls into place. Everyone starts using it.
We are having a wonderful, flavorful discussion with Asad Memon, founder and CEO of Food Fusion. Asad, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
We have loved having you on our show. This is Celebrating Sweet Success with IOBM,
Thank
a
you.
show powered by Cadbury Dairy Milk and Dreamworld Resorts. We thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.